What's up? What is up? We are getting in here with a Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG replay, and if you haven't already guessed it, it is Dragoon Control. So we have the Branded Fusion, Ash, Insight, another Red Eyes Fusion, and then Albaz himself going up against Tier Element here. We got Rhino Heart, Wolf, the Black Goat Laughs. Ooh, we'll have to read that. Grief, and Fenrir. Let's take a look at Black Goat Laughs. A lot of people are hyped about this card. Declare one monster name. This turn, neither player can special summon monsters with that original name except from the graveyard. Interesting. So you can declare anything, and then no special summoning from hand or deck or banish pile. That's interesting. Now, if this thing is in the graveyard, you can banish it from the graveyard and declare a monster name. This turn, neither player can activate the effects of monsters on the field with that original name. Interesting. So it's good on the field or in the graveyard. Very, very cool. All right, so we are going first here. So we're just going to bait out Ash Blossom by activating Insight. They do not seem to have it, so we're just going to drop the Red Eyes Fusion and probably pass. Incredible. So we got our Dragoon out here, and we're just going to go ahead and pass it on over to our opponent. They do draw a Bestial. How interesting. Fenrir is funny. It doesn't actually interact with Dragoon in any meaningful way, so there's no need to negate this guy. And then, of course, we get our first indication that this is actually Tier Element by seeing them search the tier cache. They're going to special summon from the deck. We choose not to Ash that. So we're going to save that for a later period here. So they're going to go ahead and chain block by dumping two and then sending another one. We're going to let them fuse back. Cause like, what are they actually making here, right? Mud Dragon of the Swamp? That's not too scary. So we're going to go ahead and stop the Bahamut Shark. So no Toad for them. They're going to go ahead and crash themselves in. Yeah, really not looking too good here. So they're going to go ahead and just give up here, and that's totally fine. We had the gas to go for an OTK that would have just obliterated them. So on to game number 2 here. We love doing match replays for Dragoon. So game number 2, this is post-siding of note here. We have Imperm, Ash, Lightning Storm, Wyvern, Imperm, terrible hand, but lots of interruptions. And then they have a Magnamut, a Mudora, a Lightsworn Dragonling, a Baldrake, and a Prime Planet. Yeah, this is going to be very, very hard to break their board here. So they're going to Prime Planet. Oh, God. Go ahead and grab a Sharon, which is fine. So they're going to use the effect to special and dump. They're going to send the Wolf, and then the Vice brings back the Wolf via its effect. We're then going to see the Dragonling special summon itself because they have a Lightsworn in the graveyard. So if it's special summoned, you can send a Lightsworn. So this is probably where we'll hit them with the first Imperm. Stop them from dumping a Lightsworn card. They will Magnamut now. And I'm like, what are they really going for here? Do they just leave it? No, they make an Appaloosa. They then search out their Judgment Dragon and pass. Appaloosa with 4 materials, searching out a Baldrake or a Druis Worm to accompany the Baldrake here. So we will then Lightning Storm their Appaloosa, a nice 1-for-1 trade. Set 2 pass. So we have an Imperm and a Called by set. They hit a charge. We're going to go ahead and hit this with no Ash Blossom, actually, because their mills were not that great, actually. So they're going to Requiem, and this is where we choose to Ash because they're accessing their Fiendsmith part of their deck, which we saw from the first game. So they're going to try to wipe the board. We're going to Imperm this, which is good for 2 reasons. It stops the board wipe, number 1, but then 2, they don't get to end phase send the top 4, which is really important. So we are then going to go ahead and stop their Baldrake from hitting the field. We need a little tempo play here. And we're kind of banking on a top deck. So we need something pretty darn good. No mill for you, sir. And we do get a way to Branded Fusion, which is decent, but, we've got 2 Bestials to contend with, which is going to make things really difficult. So we're going to Aluber here. They're going to get their first Bestial out. Aluber grab our Branded Fusion, to which they will set up their Baldrake. Unfortunate. So we are now going to Branded Fusion into their double Bestial board here. Bring out Albion here. They are going to banish the Albion, but we do get to continue to fuse, which can make a Titanic Lad, but it's immediately going to get met with the Druis Worm. So, we can grab back our Albaz here, which is really, really good. And that's in the end phase. So, if this was not the main phase, we don't get to necessarily use the Albaz here. But basically, the whole point was, search Albaz, put them on draw a dead card, and then as long as it's a dead card, we can basically break their double dragon board. But alas, they hit a tier cache, and let's see what their mills are. Yeah, they hit a Fiendsmith, and that's a little too much here. So we're going to go ahead and take them all the way to game 3. And this is where we get a little mean. We get our floodgates in full effect. We've got a Red Eyes Fusion and Insight, the Dark Magician himself, and double Secret Village. So nasty. What's cool about drawing 2 is, let's say they somehow break your board with a Kaiju or whatever, you can then, when it's your turn, unblock yourself by setting the other Secret Village copy to get out. You get yourself out of the floodgate if you need to. They have a Scream, a Rhino Heart, a Dark Ruler No More, a Havness, and a Keldo. These 2 aren't doing much. This is their only starter. 2 spells, huh? Let's see how that works out for you. We're going to go ahead and Insight out our Wyvern, just as a way, protect the Dragoon just a little bit, have a way to bring it back, worst case. We're going to Red Eyes Fusion now. It is a bummer we had the Dark Magician in hand, but, it is what it is. Secret Village passed. Good luck. What do they rip? A Wolf, another dead card. Yeah, it's all GG's from there. They're not breaking this board with that setup. No way to get to a Spellcaster either. Pretty dire straits if you ask me. But yeah, we've got, of course, our fan favorite, the Dragoon Control, taking another name.